What's going on? I hope you're happy, healthy, doing the things you love doing with those you love doing them with. I'm now about to give you a reading. Let's get into the meat and bones of your reading. And before I give you a reading right now, I'm going to shuffle. But in the meantime, I need you to like, comment, share, subscribe, press the notification bell. And if you're interested in getting a paid service that's regarding readings, that's personal readings, personal rituals, one-to-one work, mentorship, drop me a private message on Instagram or on TikTok. DM me clarity, and then you can tell me about your situation and we can go from there. Alternatively, you can go and click the link in my description, and that will take you towards my website. Okay, let's get into your reading. Okay, so the energy that I feel in relations towards yourself, there needs to be a change in the way you view certain decision makings that you've got to do. It's important for you to understand that I'm speaking to you in your most authentic way possible. And what do I mean by this? I mean that I'm going to give it to you 100. You are required to be more ruthless in your decision making, because I've got the King of Swords. And this is in relations towards you being a part of leading a team and you having to understand that you've got to recognize that there are certain people in your life that you can get on with from a non-professional manner. But we're talking about your success. The energy for you right now is to know that this is part of your vision, that certain people in your life, i.e. your team members, this could be you in charge of a project, you having the responsibility to have delivered something in deadlines or a projection that you have already, a number that you have in your mind. It's important for you to be ruthless in the respects of knowing that certain people in your team have got to go. So this is in relations towards your professional life, and that you are required to do this because at the end of the day, it is only you that will suffer if you are not conscious that by not doing anything at all has ramifications for you and your team. So there is the energy of having to be the emperor during this time. And I'm speaking in relations towards someone that you feel as if that they're not really part of your standards. They seem like a nice person, but the truth and the reality is they're not really aligned towards your idea, your job. The role that you have to do has to be something that needs somebody that understands the specificity of that role. And this is part of your cutthroat king or queen energy, that you've got to be honest about the situation and say that change needs to happen. In order for you to win, you have to be ruthless with this situation, because if it's not on them, it's on you. And your failure to make a decision will ultimately be a consequences of you potentially losing your role, being undermined, not being respected, not reaching your deadline, and most importantly, feeling disappointed. I also got you having to understand that just because you've got to say to somebody goodbye, or you've got to really think about releasing them off your company or releasing them off your team, you got to see it from a perspective that there are also other people in your team that will suffer if you're not able to take control of the situation and actually say, hold on a minute, there needs to be a sense of responsibility. because I'm not going to let one person really ruin it for somebody else or somebody that's a part of your team that essentially works amazing. And this is an energy that I feel like involves, imagine a pillar, and that specific pillar or pillars needs to have roles for other people that are, in essence, a way where everybody is connected. And if one doesn't perform well, everything drops. Now, this is the energy that I feel. And I feel like this is about you making that decision to counterweight that situation where one has to go, and that your next decision making is regarding you to make calls, put an advertisement up, or make it known that there are positions available. There has to be a ruthlessness, because this isn't just about taking part, this is about taking over. And this is about you understanding that the buck ends up with you. You have a responsibility to perform. You have the responsibility to do well. You have the responsibility to do something for yourself. There's a bit of personal pride at stake, but most importantly, your professional pride is at stake. Now, the moment I see that you're making these changes is that there's going to be a constant level of transformations in your life. We're talking about you having a better job perspective, promotion, you being headhunted. I'm speaking to the energy of you in relations towards you feeling appreciated. I also like the energy in relations towards your actual career life, because what's happening is that you are being rewarded for decision makings, and where you are at needs, where you are at requires you to make the best decisions. And there's a high propensity with the best decisions come with the best outcomes. The 6 of Wands is letting you know that this is shaping you up to be the winner. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, you've got, this is what Spirit's saying. Hear me out, right? Hear me out. You've got the Tower card, but you can't write this up. If you transform yourself in regards to making a decision based on you having to be ruthless, you having to be real, you're going to birth something incredibly great. And this is a positive time moment. Now, the other timeline that I see is that if you don't, Spirit's saying, well, you're betraying yourself. And Spirit is going to take matters into the hands with themselves and having to show you what consequences are if you are hesitant about making changes, or if you don't make any changes at all. So I would go with the former rather than the latter, meaning that I would rather you make the changes, because the transformations and the changes are going to be something that will be rewarding. I mean, ultimately, you're only being true and authentic towards having to understand that if somebody isn't good enough for that situation, doesn't necessarily mean that they're not good enough in other roles. And what's the point in lying? My energy right now is letting you know that you know better, and that you should listen to your intuition. You should listen to your intuition and trust that you are in the process of changes that will become only beneficial if you are selfish, because selfishness is a form of self-love, it's self-care, it's spiritual protection, and you truly want to be really aligned towards people that will amplify your energy, and you have the opportunity to amplify theirs. All right. Now, as I said, if you do need advice in regarding clarity, mapping up this, or if you need help regarding mapping the situation up, if you feel like this resonates, DM me clarity. Let's have a conversation. That was your reading, and take care. Sorcerer.